everybody. I am back with my strawberry journal. Whew, I worked a little bit on it the other day. Then I paused on it and worked on my cat journal. And then I got up this morning. It's Saturday morning. And I really, my plan was to work on my cat journal and get that finished up. But I rewatched my video of my last strawberry making video. I don't know about you guys, but I watch all my videos after I post them, mainly because I want to see what I'm doing from a different angle, if that makes any sense. Hey, let me turn on my fan. It's kind of like when you're... One second. Okay, it's kind of like when you're an artist, and you're doing a painting, and you're seeing it as you're painting, and then if any of you do this, or if you don't, this is a tip. But if you're working on a drawing or a painting or whatever, and you're, even if you're not in a stuck spot, but if you're in a stuck spot, one tip is to take a picture of it, just with your camera or your phone, and then look at that photo. For whatever reason, you see it from a different, there goes the plane, you see it from a different perspective, and so I kind of do that with my videos. When I'm in the moment working, I don't see a lot of things that I see from looking at it afar. So, especially if I'm in a Create With Me video and I'm in progress. So my last strawberry making journal video kind of opened my eyes to a few things, plus some comments I took to heed. I appreciate that. So I'll kind of just show you where I'm at. I've done some more sewing, mainly to make that happen off camera. But Cindy at Studio Lou, you know, I had that postcard cutout that I did that was too wide for this little bitty journal that I'm working on and struggling with. But she suggested folding it in half and using it as a pocket or a tuck spot. And so that's what I did. We found a little place for this guy. And I like it. I struggled a little bit with it, but I like it. So I did that, which allowed me to tuck my extra card in there. And we found a place for this guy. And some of the little magazine clip outs, I just put them on cards. I backed them and made little journal cards out of them. You know, and with a journal this small, I think it's okay to have little bitty journal cards. Obviously I can't have real big ones. So I did that. I'm working on doing a little bit of collage with this handmade paper stuff. I want to do these little pieces throughout, so I'm kind of working on that. I've added the red lace to some of these. I don't know if you can see them. Really kind of grungy, but that's what I did. I was debating on this guy, but I really like this, and I really kind of want to save it for, that's the devil's word, save it for. I have other plans for this, let's just say that. So I like it, but it's still in my strawberry stash for right now. And then I have this little snippet, which this is the only snippet I have, but I'm thinking somehow it needs to go on the cover. Maybe. I haven't decided, so I didn't want to edge my pages with it. And then, of course, I have the red rickrack that I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with just yet. Or if anything. So, this was our little card I added that little collage piece. I made a hidden paper clip out of that little snippet of strawberry that we had. And I also, because I'm backwards for whatever reason, made a journal card out of this little strawberry basket image. So since it is backwards, I should have done it this way to flip open like a normal person. But since it's backwards, we're tucking it in sideways. And I didn't want to make a pocket out of this because it can fold out to be more writing space. So we just tucked him in there. And we made a hidden paper clip with little green foofies. I found this little green strip. And I just have, where did it go? I just have this little bit of it. It's super soft. So I'll work this little bit in here somewhere. I thought that looked cute for a little strawberry topper. There's some more of that collage that's coming through. I folded these Rolodex cards that were giving me headache and made little tuck spots out of them. This is another piece of book page or magazine paper that I was debating on what to do with. I backed it and made a journal card out of it. Because now we have all these little tuck spots. But anyways, this is the Rolodex card. Stamped on it and made a little tuck spot for it. So there is that signature. I still have some pieces that I'm working with. And I want to go through and do some of this. I'm just kind of showing you guys where I'm at, and then we'll get back to it. Again, added the lace grunge here. Here's the other Rolodex pockets. Let me tuck this little guy in, and I added some of that green. To this little tag. We are working on. Oh, I did do a card for this guy. Remember the last video? I was trying to decide what to put on this card, but I decided, and I've got it under my. I have it under my book press. My Not a Book Press marble slab. Anyways, I did a little. I made a card out of this, but it was little, so I just decided to tuck him on there. So he'll go in there. And I have this pocket that I need to put something in. I don't know what, but I do have a stack of scraps here that we can make a bookmark out of this or something and put in there. We can do that. And then, let's see here, what else did I do? There's another Rolodex. Oh, I need to stamp this guy. I knew there was another one floating around here that I needed to stamp. I'm trying not to go overboard with these strawberry stamps because they are so cute. But I do want them throughout. Okay. And then, so I moved my Strawberry Song over here to this pocket for whatever reason, I don't know. And so we have a back pocket back here that's empty. So that's kind of where we are. We're still pretty chunky, but I'm not removing any more pages. We're just going to have to work with it. I think it'll work out cute. I like the little lace on the edge. I saved some of it in case we decide to do something on the front, which I should have saved a bigger piece and could have made it our tie, but we didn't do that. So anyways, I saved some of this for that. So kind of what we got to do is add a little bit more to these. We've got to figure out our inside cover, and then we got to figure out our cover. So I was playing around with thoughts on it. I have this little piece of, it's not burlap, but it's a burlap type fabric. And I like, even though it's the same color, I like that. So I played around with this, and my thought process, which I hate to do this, but you know, my thought process was to fussy cut one of these strawberries and sew it on. So it would be kind of grungy on that with this and that. But then I also kind of like the Strawberry Mountain, but although it says Richmond, Virginia, we're not in Richmond, Virginia. And then there's this little girl with the strawberry basket, but she really doesn't fit. It's so hard to decide what to do. What's the best option to do with this? I'm almost kind of inclined, I could fussy cut her and she could be, I don't know. And then I have this piece of green material, but I'm thinking this leafy piece might be best suited for here. I'm thinking. I don't think, since the inside covers are so good, I don't think I'm going to do much with that. I don't think. Yeah. I don't know. So that's kind of where we are. That's what I'm going to work on today. And I think what I'm going to do is get the insides really good, decide if I'm done with them or not, and then I'll probably do another video trying to figure out the cover. Although the cover, I have a feeling, is going to involve some sewing, which is hard to do on camera with you guys. So, anyways. That's where we are. Good Saturday morning. Thanks for creating with me. And let's just see. I have this. These are different. I think I've got you guys in frame. I do. Okay. So just stay in the black square shell. Stay in the black square. Okay. So I have this piece of paper that I need to do some collaging with. I say collaging, it's just basically adding to some of the pages. Nothing special or specific. Oh, I can do hang with me here. I have my little glue book cleared off, so I'm going to try to use it today. Try to. Okay. Oh, I knew I would do that upside down. I'm kind of inclined just to add these. I've got 4 pictures of strawberries. I really don't like this one. I like it, but I don't, if that makes any sense. So I think we're going to vote to get rid of it. Mainly because because it has the fingers in it. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just being... I can make a card out of that and tuck that in there. We could do that. Although I'll need to sew it. I just thought I was done sewing. We just thought we were done with the sewing machine. And that's totally crooked. And cut this out real quick. Try to even it up a little bit, but crooked. Okay. So it's Memorial Day weekend here. I was off yesterday, ran a gazillion errands. It was not a good day for me yesterday. I had to get tires on my car, and I am a single female and know absolutely nothing about that. And I've been working on this all week, ordering tires, figuring out which tires go on my car, ordering tires. I had it all planned out that I would just go to the tire shop yesterday morning and get tires put on my car. I had them picked out. I paid for them, hoping that they were the right ones because, again, I know nothing about that. And so I need to sew this, but he's going to go in here. So we did that, and it did not go as planned, you know, because that's how things go. Why go as planned? Who wants to do that? Anyways, I had an appointment at 7 o'clock, and I got there at 7 o'clock, and it was at Walmart, and so I just kind of walked around Walmart. It was only going to take them an hour, so the mouse in my pocket, walked around Walmart, and about 45 minutes in, which was kind of irritating in itself, mainly because I had a 7 o'clock appointment to get my car done. Thought it would take about an hour. And then I had a 9 o'clock appointment at the passport office to finally mark something off my bucket list and apply for a passport. So I had a 9 o'clock appointment that I was, so anyway, 7:45 rolls around, almost 8 o'clock. I'm 30 minutes away from the passport office, so I need to leave soon. They message me and say, Walmart, the tire place, says, we don't know where, they message and say, we need to know where the lock is for your tires. Okay, well, first off, I know nothing about that. So I know nothing about it. First off. Second off, you're the tire people. Don't you know what you're talking about? Because I don't. I don't know anything about a tire lock. But anyways, I was like, I don't know. I assume, does the car come with this? It's, it's a 2-year-old car. I bought it brand new. Does the tire come with this? I mean, does the car come with this? I don't know what you're talking about. Because again, I know nothing about this. And he's like, well, your car should come with it. Should be in the glove box or the trunk with the spare tire, which would make sense as to where that is. But they couldn't find it. I was like, so what do we do? And he's like, well, you'll need to go to the dealership and get one. It's like, well, are they going to charge me for this or what? He's like, well, they shouldn't because your car comes with it, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Again, I had a 9 o'clock appointment, so I couldn't be going back and forth to the dealership now. I just got other things to do. So I it's like, oh, okay. So he's like, we're gonna put the tires in your car, and you can just go get the key and come back. And I was like, well, okay. That does not sound good, but okay. So they put all 4 tires in my car, in the back seat and in the trunk, the hatchback trunk part. I left. Not very happy. I left, ran to my 9 o'clock passport appointment, smelling like rubber tires in my car. Did that. The appointment went okay. The passport appointment went okay. I was a little irritated. Apparently, when you fill out a passport application online, excuse me, and you go to enter your spouse, or ex-spouse in my case, when you go to enter their name, when you enter it in the computer like normal, it prints it doesn't flip that name. Does that make sense? Because on the application it should be last name first and then first and middle name. And so when you fill it out on the application, it doesn't ask it in that way. It asks what's your spouse's name, and so you put, you know, first, middle, last. But when it prints out first, middle, last instead of flipping it like it's supposed to. So when I get to the office, she's like, I'm going to need you to fill out a new application because this should be flipped. It's like, okay. So I have to fill out a new application. No big deal. She gives me a pen. That is the key point here. She gives me a pen and says, you can step outside and fill it out. Yeah, because I was in a little room. You can step outside and fill it out because I've got another lady that I'm working on. So, okay. So I step outside of her little office and I fill out the second page of my application. I get the name right in the right order. And then she finishes with the lady that she's working on. She's like, okay, you can go back in. I go back in. And turn in my little paper that I had just filled out because that's what she told me to do. And she's like, oh, this has to be filled out in black ink. Mind you, I'm already irritated about my tire situation. And I said, okay, well, do you have a black pen? Because, again, I used the pen she gave me. Mind you, I have pens in my purse. I probably should have just, went with it, but whatever. And she's like, oh yeah, here. So she gives me a black pen. So I'll go and fill that out for a second time. Actually, a third time. So we get the application all filled out. She takes my little picture. We get it all turned in. Everything is going great. And I get all that done. Application turned in. All that's good. It's going to be 13 weeks or 14 weeks or something like that, which is fine. I'm not planning to go anywhere, not anytime soon. I do have friends in Canada that I've actually met. Not you guys, you junk journaling friends, but I have actual people that I know physically. I've met, I've hung around, spent time with. I I'm not going to say real friends, because I think you junk journaling ladies are my real friends. But anyways, I have a friend in Canada who, she lives in Quebec City, and she is dying to have me come visit her. And I keep saying, I don't have a passport. I don't have a passport. I don't have a passport. And so, of course, it's been on my list to get a passport for a while. But I just haven't done it. And I just bit the bullet and did it this weekend. Or this yesterday. So, yeah. So, get done with the passport. I go to the dealership. And in between that, I went to my sister's grave. And because there's a sunken hole that I've been, over her grave, that I've been trying to get the cemetery to fix, fill in, whatever it is that they do, for a couple months now. I've been trying to get them to do that over the phone, but apparently that did not work. So I left the passport office, went by the cemetery. The hole is still not filled in, so probably should not have, in my state of dealing with the passport people and the tire people. I went in and nicely told the lady that I needed that hole filled in. And I was nice. I promise. So hopefully they will get that stressor off my list. Hopefully. Anyways, went to the dealership and said, apparently I have a key for my tires that I don't know anything about, and I need that, and so had to pay $20 to get a key for a tire, key lock thing for my tire. Was not happy about that, considering the dealership is the only people. My car is almost 3 years old. Bought it brand new from the dealership. I have done my regularly scheduled maintenance, oil change, things like that. I have only done those at the dealership, and they rotate my tires, and so therefore they would need to have that lock or key or whatever it's called to do that. And so that tells me that maybe my car came with a lock, key, whatever they're considering it, and for some reason I no longer have it, when the dealership is the only people that have dealt with my car. Kind of makes me think that the key is floating around the dealership somewhere. I could be wrong. I'm just speculating, but seems a little suspicious to me. Anyways, paid $25 for a key, and I went back to Walmart, and now they tell me it's going to be 3 hours, because it was 2 hours. There was a 2 hour wait, and then it was going to take an hour to do my car. I was not happy. I was done with the day. I was irritated with the day. Okay, fine. My mom comes, picks me up, brings me home. She lives about 10 minutes away, no big deal. Brings me home. I just veg out on the couch. My plan was yesterday afternoon, when I got done with all my errands, to get back to this. But I was not in a very good state. I was irritated, frustrated, tired, and so I started vegging out on the couch, watching some TV, and within an hour, Walmart texts me and says, "Hey, your car's done." After I'd already told my mom and my daughter you know, give me a couple hours and then I'll call you. So, the good thing is it didn't take 3 hours, but the bad thing is I had to bother my mom and my daughter again to come get me. So, they came, got me, got out of my car, all good. Ran a couple more errands and came home, and I got home about 1:30, and I sat down on the couch, and I did not get up off of the couch until like 10 o'clock last night. I was disassociating, I was decompressing, I was not having it. So that was my day yesterday. Did not go as planned, but it went. I'm glad it's over. So yeah, there you have it. I don't know if I was telling a different story or if I was trying to make a point with telling you all that. I'm just kind of chattering and sharing my day with you. Today I woke up and had some breakfast and had to do an upgrade on my phone, which seems to take forever sometimes. And now I'm here with you. The only thing on my agenda today is to create. I'm going to work on this strawberry journal. I would like to get it done. I know that's big dreams, show, big dreams. I would like to get it done. But the fact that excuse me, I don't know what I'm doing with the cover kind of hinders that. Kind of slows me down a little bit. This is crooked, I know, but we're just going with it. I wonder if I can make another strawberry like I did the last time. I don't know. Yeah, my plans today are to work on this guy. And I would like to finish him, her. I would like to finish her, but big hopes. And I need to finish my cat journal. I get to a point with these journals sometimes that I don't know what to do with them, because maybe they're not coming together like I envisioned them, maybe. Or ouch. They're not coming together like I envisioned them, or they aren't being as easy as I need them to be. If that makes any sense. By that I mean the cat journal, I'm struggling with the cover. It's a Little Golden Book, and I see a gazillion videos about Little Golden Books, and I think I have decided I'm really not a fan of working with them. I'm just back and forth about them. But the Cat Journal is a little golden book, and I'm just not enjoying it as much as I need to. What is the deal here? So it's I've got my pages together, and I need to, there, that took care of that little bit of green. Where am I gonna put this? I don't know. I am stuck in a thought right now, obviously. The Cat Journal. I am not a fan of the little golden book. The cover is wonky, and the pages are all done. I'm just struggling with, oh, that's where we're gonna go. Remember? Right there. I'm struggling with the cover. I will show you guys when I get to that. But anyways, I'm struggling with it. I'm in a spot where the pages are all done and I just need to sew it in, but I'm struggling with the cover of it, and I'm not a fan right now. So that's that with the Cat Journal. I think I really wanted to do something with these scrappies. This was from a Panera bag, and I have one page in here that is that somewhere. There it is. It's in the front. So anyways, I need to finish up the Cat Journal, but I'm irritated with it. And I need to finish up this guy. We're just going to make a little flip. Tuck him in there. Okay. I think I'm done with this, with my insides. So, get these little scrappies out of the way. This little scrappy, I have this strawberry guy and these little strawberry pieces. Oh, this little strawberry guy too. I'm gonna try to clean up my mess a little bit. And then okay. Man, the planes are flying like crazy today. It's a beautiful day for it, so I guess I don't blame them. Okay. So, we're done with our insides. We just called it done. These little strawberries I'm going to put in a little farmer's market bag. And, okay. Now we have to make some decisions about this guy. Again, I think this is a good idea for this. Yep, I think that's a good idea for that. So that takes care of that. Now we gotta decide what we're gonna do here. Again, I do like this. I guess I just need to decide if I like the girl or the strawberries, or maybe I just need to bite the bullet and cut this up. And, maybe I could do a little bit. I'm gonna go with it. I might have to scrap her and do something totally different. Of course, we'll grungy her up. I don't like her. I was afraid that was going to happen. So let's see if we can. I know, I quote-unquote ruined a perfectly good square of fabric that was cute. But if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Right? I'm not so sure that's working either. Oy, oy, oy. I don't know. Maybe if I grunge it up, that will help me decide if that's what I want to do or not. At this point, you know, whatever happens, happens. And maybe it needs some more. You know, why is it sometimes some fabrics, they grunge real easy, they fray real easy, and then others, they just refuse to. That's another problem I'm having with my cat journal, is I'm fraying some fabric on the spine, and it's not wanting to fray. Looking a little better. I gotta decide on my tie for this. I feel like it needs to be kind of small because we were in a small journal. Let's see here. Got my ribbon bucket, and that's not good. I think that might work if we can find a bigger piece. We have some green bias tape. Oh, that's very green. Oy, oy, oy. Some brown bias tape. That's an option. Nope. That's too thick. Okay. It's an option. It does not match anything. Most of what I have in my ribbon box is scraps. So I can do that. Yeah, maybe. Not really feeling it, but shiny gold, nope. Let's see here. You know, I think a lot of my problem is that we just have too much to choose from. When I first started junk journaling, I didn't have this big box of ribbon. This is my big box of ribbon. I didn't have this. I just had a few spools of ribbon. And so you got what you got, and you used what you had, and you just didn't throw a fit about it, and that's... We'll pull him out just because. And you just used what you had, and you made it work. But now I actually am kind of liking that. Okay, we're gonna make some decisions here. I think we decided this goes with nothing. Now I have too many options. And when you have too many options, it squashes your creativity. That's just my thought. Because we sit and we ponder which is the best option here. I was kind of playing around with this for spine. Just to give it a little extra. Let's see if this is even big enough. I'm sure you guys laugh at me every time you watch me. She's like, you're probably thinking, this chick has no idea what she's doing. There's such an easier way. And you're probably right. I'm leaning towards that. Yep. That's what we're doing. Okay. Yeah, you're probably right. No clue what I'm doing. I'm just doing. This ribbon has wire in it, which I don't typically work with wired ribbon, but this might work in my favor. Maybe. Because it gives a little something something. Okay. Now to decide if I want to put this on there before or after. It fits just perfectly. Those little wires go in the crease of that book like it belongs there. And then I can sew on the outside. I think that's what I'll do. Okay, we're going to find the center of this guy. And we are just going to go with this. Where am I at on my time? Whew, coming up on my time. Hi. This may be a long video, just so I can work on my cover, kind of get that first portion of it out of the way. And I'll leave you alone, and I'll finish this up, and the next time you see it, it will be a flip through. And yep. So that's what we're going with. I'll trim those off, and then I'll figure out a way to grungy this up and sew this up, and that's what we're gonna call the cover. And I'll do this on the inside. And I'm not going to do a dangle on this one because it's so small. And so yeah, that's what we're going to do. Making it happen, making it happen. So let's see here. See if I can grungy this up a little bit with y'all. I would glue this in the inside, but I think I'm going to sew around it first. Think. Another thing I have, and you know what, I may just ruin this totally. Another thing I have, I saw a hack. I saw a hack the other day. It was talking about the distress inks, and about how, you know, they're so expensive. But one thing you could do I'm totally having a squirrel moment here, is get some cheap shoe polish. And use it to grungy up your papers. You know, because you all know the distress inks and all that, the Tim Holtz in particular, are very expensive. And to have a wide variety, this works, but I will tell you this. So this is just some cheap shoe polish, brown. It's a big paste. This works to grungy up something. But it stinks. Now, the trick is going to be to see if it stinks on this after we're done playing with it. You know, after an extended period of time. So we'll see. That was just a test. I had it out. I picked some of this up yesterday when I was out running around. Just to see. Because if this works, there's a lot of paste in there for, I think these were like $2.97. I don't have the brown Tim Holtz fancy stuff. So anyways, we'll see how stinky that is. See if that works. All that to say, I was thinking about adding it to this. That's what brought that up. That's where that squirrel moment was. I was thinking about adding it to this to kind of, maybe I'll do that. Mainly just to kind of tone down this bright blue that's going on here. I'm just using what's left on the sponge. I'm not gonna re-up it. That helped a little bit. Again, you guys are probably thinking, what? This lady is crazy. That's where the chaos comes into my name. Shows creative chaos. We're being pretty chaotic right now. We're just doing. That's what this is all about, right? Doing it, seeing what happens. Seeing how it turns out. And enjoying the process. You know, everybody says, trust the process, trust the process. I say, enjoy the process. Of course, you got to trust it too, but I say, enjoy it, embrace it. So, you're grunging him up rather nicely. Not as much as that red is showing as I wanted it to. This red. But we're going with it. I wonder if maybe we can do this. We will have a little swath of that. No. Okay, just a thought. You know, thoughts come and go. Yeah, I just really feel like it needs this. Just as an extra layer of fun. Okay, so I'm going to close you up now and do some sewing. I've got a few little sewing bits left in here, I think is what we decided, that little bookmark thing. And then I'm going to play with this cover some more. And then next time I see you, I will be working on my cat journal. And you guys can just deal with you can work through the frustrations with me and see what I'm talking about with the cover and the little golden book and all that I'm dealing with that. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna close up here with the strawberry. The next time you see it, it will be a flip through, a finished product. And I will be back with my cat journal here in a little bit this afternoon. So anyways, thanks for joining me as we create the mouse in my pocket. Yeah, I'm back in the swing of things after my vacation, and here we are. So thanks for joining me. I will be back soon enough, and take care of yourselves, and see you soon.